କେତେ ଜଣ ଜଏନ୍ କଲେ ଭାବୁନ? 2 ଜଣ?
Sir,
ଭାବନା
good evening. Good evening, sir.
ହଁ ଗୁଡ୍ ଇଭିନିଂ। 2 ଜଣ ତ, ତମେ ଆଉ ଜଣେ ଲର୍ଣ୍ଣର?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just wait, let other 2 join, then we'll start the class within 5 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let us start because you'll be late. We have only. So, shall we start?
Start, sir.
Yeah, very good. So, Arpita has not joined. So, we'll be starting with chapter 7, that is discussed earlier in the last class regarding ICT application in Panchayat Raj institutions. So, what is PRIs? What are the Panchayat Raj institutions? You know, all of you know that this is a 3-tier system. Gram Panchayat, then Panchayat Samiti and Jilla Parishad. We had a long history of Panchayat Raj system in India. From ancient period, we have been observing there was Panchayat. The origin of the term Panchayat goes to Pancha, means 5. That means earlier we have some kind of limited democracy in our village republics, that whatever the issue, whether it is a conflict, whether it is a development issue or whatever, they are taken by collectively by some people, not individual. Though there was a monarchy at the top level, the state in ancient India, medieval India, were monarchical states. Some parts of India, there are republican states, but the village management or in the rural area, there is a panchayat system. They are limited because panchayat system democracy does not have space or did not have space for women, for Dalits. So there was a limited democracy, but whatever. This is a positive thing that we had a kind of democracy. So India has a long tradition, long history of Panchayat Raj system. And there is some reform during British period, but that was not full-fledged. After independence came the Balwant Rai Mehta committee, and as per the recommendation of this committee, we created Panchayat Raj system in India at the block level. Under the leadership of Nehru, it was inaugurated in Rajasthan. So from those days till 93, we had a long historical journey of ups and downs. And during Rajiv Gandhi period, we got a 73rd Amendment Act. That is a historic act giving power to the local bodies at the grassroots level, decision-making power, financial power. Then there is a reservation for women, backwards, Dalits and tribal. This is a historically a radical step in empowering people at the grassroots level, otherwise known as what? Decentralized democracy or local democracy. This is a big step in 93. From then on, there was a big question mark, and you will be astonishing to know. Before this Central Act, there was a reservation for women under Biju Patnaik in Odisha. So there is a question mark whether reservation for women or for Dalits and tribals or backwards will be successful because governance is meant for, that is a understanding among the intelligentsia and many people in India, that uneducated people, rural people who does not have any knowledge about governance, managing the institutions, it will be very difficult. But we crossed that stage, and millions of elected representatives from women sections, from tribals, from Dalits and backwards made Panchayat Raj system successful, and we found that they made governance of Panchayat Raj institutions more successful than their earlier precedents or earlier people who were from upper caste or rich sections. Then there was direct election to Gram Panchayat, indirect election to Panchayat Samiti and Jilla Parishad. So after these e-governance that spread to central government and state government, so there was question of e-governance in PRIs. PRIs means Panchayat Raj institutions. So that was a big step that we continued from 90s till now. So in between, Panchayat Raj systems or institutions have undergone many changes. Their role has changed, their challenges have changed. They are facing a new kind of governance structure at the state level, that is governance at the central level. So they cannot remain aloof, or they cannot remain isolated from this bigger change happening in our country, in rural areas. So they have to use ICT in their governance structure. That's why we'll be studying what can be the application of ICT in Panchayat Raj governance, how can they be effective, and in what way they can be meaningful for the people, for democracy, for the rural development. As you know, the 11th schedule of the Constitution has 29 subjects transferred to Panchayat Raj. Some states are essentially implementing them, some states are lagging behind. They have agriculture, they have land, they have minor irrigation, they have fishery, they have small scale industry, rural housing, animal husbandry, road, electrification, primary education, poverty alleviation, vocational education, then non-formal education, library, rural market, rural health, etc., etc. So all the welfare schemes now continuing in India, whether it is a state-sponsored scheme or it is a central government-sponsored scheme, they are implemented at the grassroots level by these institutions. So the challenge of transparency, the challenge of quick service, the challenge of accountability, the challenge of corruption-free administration are faced by these PRIs. So obviously, it comes to mind, if they use, they means Panchayat Raj institutions, if they use ICT or information and communication technology, or they can shift to the model of e-governance, like state governments and central governments, then there can be inclusive governance system, and they can bring inclusive development. So there are two objectives. The objectives of PRI is inclusive development in the rural areas. That means people living in rural areas, particularly the marginalized people, the poor people, the exploited people, they will get the fruits of development. That is inclusive development. How can they get? Unless the administration, unless the governance is inclusive, there cannot be inclusive development. How can the governance be inclusive? Inclusive means common people must participate in the democratic process at the PRI. It does not mean only voting. There is voting to Panchayat Raj institutions, whether it is a Gram Panchayat or Panchayat Samiti or Jilla Parishad, in every 5 years, like parliamentary election or state election. So, this does not mean the only they will vote and sleep. 5 वर्ष थरे vote देदेले तापर सोई पड़े एमिति कथा. They must participate. What is the scope of participation in Panchayat Raj institution? The most important, the best model of participation, democratic participation in the rural development, in the rural governance, the rural democratic process is Gram Sabha. Gram Sabha in India under 73rd Amendment Act is a kind of direct democratic institution. The adult members whose names are in the voter list are members of that village or Gram Sabha. They sit and plan for the development. This is ideally the position under 73rd Amendment Act and other amendments to the Act. But this is not implemented throughout the country uniform. Some states like Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Bengal, Maharashtra, they have developed models of Panchayat Raj institutions. We in Odisha don't literally don't observe this Gram Sabha meeting for development or planning of development of the village and Panchayat in the Gram Sabhas very sincere. There are violations. But whatever may be the aberration or exceptions, but this institution, that is Gram Sabha, is one of the most important democratic institutions available to the people of India at the rural level. That's why the use of ICT or governance can ensure better participation of the common people in local governments. So how can be ICT intervention helpful? Let us examine. So what is the importance of ICT in PRIs? It is most important. How can? It can create a knowledge base. It can share the knowledge, share the geographical boundaries, inform the geographical boundaries. It can inform the people about the developmental projects, policies, welfare schemes available to the people. So, there are 3 important ways of use of ICT for better governance in PRIs. पंचायत राज व्यवस्था रे सूचना प्रजुक्ति व्यवहार करके जदि ई प्रशासन में आनी परिबा ताले तीनोटी क्षेत्र रे गुरुत्वपूर्ण परिवर्तन हे परिबा बा फलप्रद. What is that? First is efficiency benefits in the policy side. जो नीति निर्धारण होउची एथरे ए सृष्टि करि परिबो जे दक्षतार जो बेनिफिट सेtre मिलता. केमिति ना जो कॉम्प्लेक्स पॉलिसी इंफॉर्मेशन नीति संपर्कित जटिल तथ्य को डिसीजन मेकर पाखे पहुंचे पारे. सरपंच हो, वार्ड मेंबर हो, ग्राम सभा मेंबर हो, ब्लॉक चेयरमैन हो, जिला परिषद चेयरमैन. Second important aspect is the delivery of public services at the local level. So there are most of the complaints always that we are not getting our services, whether it is a health service, whether it is a welfare scheme, whether it is agriculture service or transport service or education service. People are not getting in right time, in right way, transparently, without any accountability. That was the complaint always. So use of ICT or e-governance can improve the delivery of public services to the rural people. तो ग्रामांचल जो साधारण लोक बसवास कर विशेषकर गरीब लोक मैंने जो प्रदत्त सेवा गुड़िक धर आवास योजना हो, घर हो, भत्ता हो, कृषि संपर्कित हो बा अंगनवाड़ी खाद्य हो, ये सबू संपर्क रे कंप्लेन होची जे ठीक भाव लोक पाउ बा. मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट चैलेंज इज द चॉइस ऑफ राइट बेनिफिशियरी. प्रकृत जी बेनिफिशियरी माने पाइबा कथा योग्य लोक, योग्य हिताधिकारी, तार चयन रे त्रुटि होउची, पाइबार त्रुटि होई. देयर कॉमन कंप्लेंट्स. यदि आईसीटी व्यवहार हो, मैपिंग हे गेला वेबसाइट रे पंचायत रहि गेला जे माने बीपीएल कार्ड हो, लोक ने कंप्लेन करि परिबे तार कोठा अछि, बाडी अछि, से काई पुणी आवास योजना पाइला, बिजू पटनायक घर हो बा प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना हो जाबे. But delivery of services can be improved by e-governance or use of ICT. तापर आसला जे जोटा गवर्नमेंट और पीपल इंटरेक्शन, लोक और सरकार मध्य सेठी सरकार के ब्लॉक डेवलपमेंट ऑफिसर, पंचायत सेक्रेटरी, बा एग्रीकल्चर एक्सटेंशन ऑफिसर बा हेल्थ ऑफिसर ये समस्त सहित लोक मानकर डायलॉग हो पारिबो एवं एठु जानि परिबे जदि आईसीटी व्यवहार फीडबैक टा ब्लॉक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन पाई परिबो लोक मानक ठारू तथ्य पाई परिबो अभियोग पाई परिबो कंप्लेंट्स पाई परिबो गोटे नॉलेज सेंटर को जाइकी साधन केंद्र को ग्रामांचल जोटा अच्छी somebody was asking काली अर्पिता ने किए पचारथिले so they can ask questions they can make complaints they can challenge the loopholes in the implementation of the policy or delivery of public services so that will in one way improve the service delivery तो लोकों सरकार भितर जदि जोगाजोग व्यवस्थाटा आईसीटी माध्यम द्रुत गति व्यापक रूप से हो पारला ताहले माने कौन करें ना अभियोग करें सजेशन दे पारे एवं डेलीवरी ऑफ पब्लिक सर्विसेज आउट त्वरान्वित हो पार और स्वच्छ हो पार एवं उत्तरदायी हो पार तो आउ कौन कौन फल मिल पारे तीन टाइम कथा कहले नेक्स्ट इंपोर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ आईसीटी इन पीआरआई इज एम्पावरमेंट ऑफ पीपल लोक मान सशक्तकरण हम सशक्तिकरण हम केमी ना प्लानिंग लेवल योजना लेवल ग्राम सभा बसिकी गाँव में डिसाइड हम कौटी रास्ता हम कौटी पोखरी हम कौटी ट्यूबवेल हम तो वी नीड पार्टिसिपेशन सो जदि आईसीटी रे आमे मैपिंग हो गला एतिकी मेंबर अछंती तांग पाखु ईमेल व्हाट्सएप मेसेज चली गला नागरा बजे की खबर दिया है गला मीटिंग वाइडर एंड लाउडर पॉपुलर वे रे प्रचार प्रसार करागला से प्लानिंग रे पार्टिसिपेट कर इम्प्लीमेंटेशन बेले जो गोटे गाँव में रास्ता होची लोक मैंने पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे देखिए वेदर दैट रोड इज बीइंग कंस्ट्रक्टेड एज पर क्वालिटी स्टैंडर्ड्स गुणात्मक मान रोची कि नहीं कंट्राक्टर सही परिमाण बाली सीमेंट गोड़ी दौची कि नहीं एति टाइम मैनेजमेंट करूची कि नहीं पानी दौची कि नहीं इत्यादि then this will ensure transparency and accountability okay then enhance coordination within the different segments तो इम्प्लीमेंट कला विभिन्न विभाग अच्छी इंजीनियरिंग विभाग अच्छी R&D अच्छी पीडब्ल्यूडी अच्छी वाटर रिसोर्सेस अच्छी आंक भीतर समन्वय रखा जाए so by the use of ICT there can be participatory planning that means planning can be planning for development at the rural level particularly at the village level can be made participatory by use of ICT तो ई-गवर्नेंस माध्यम रे सूचना प्रजुक्ति माध्यम रे जो योजना होची ऊपर बसिक योजना न करिकी एइथरे भागीदारी योजना मान लोक माने पार्टिसिपेट करी ताकर मतामत बर्तमान ग्राम सभा अछि फॉर्मल ग्राम सभा होची ग्राम सभा गोटे प्रस्ताव आसला ता कार्यकारी सरपंच तार मन बदली दउची ब्लॉक लेवल पॉलिटिकल इंटरफेरेंस रे बदली दउची इटा दिस कैन बी एन्श्योर्ड बाय participation of the beneficiaries or citizens or members of Gram Sabha whatever. Second है taxation. इधर गोटे GIS रो बड़ रोल अच्छी GIS कौन करिवो काली मैं GIS पढ़ी थी जियोग्राफिकल इन्फॉर्मेशन सिस्टम रे गोटे पंचायत रे रिसोर्स मैपिंग हो पार कौटी नाल अच्छी कौटी पोखरी अच्छी कौटी चाष जमी अच्छी कौटी पड़िया अच्छी कौटी रोड अच्छी एंटायर मैप विल बी मैप entire panchayat or block or district will be mapped, the resources will be identified, then there can be suggestions for the improvement or new policy. तो जोड़ी पानी अच्छी से जल सेचन कौन चाष हो पार यहाँ टॉप लेवल लोक जाने जीएस मैपिंग कले पंचायत ठू आरंभ करी जिला से इनफर्मेशन स्टेट को पड़े देन टैक्सेशन पंचायत जो कर आदाय व्यवस्था अच्छी सेटा यदि सेंटर स्टेट टैक्स एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन अच्छी सेटा साहाय्यकारी हम आईसीटी द्वारा सहजरे कर आदाय हो तो पंचायत माने कर बसई पारे कर आदाय करें ऑनलाइन में एजुकेशन से भाया प्राथमिक शिक्षा जो अच्छी नॉन फॉर्मल एजुकेशन अच्छी कौटी वोकेशनल अच्छी से पंचायत सेंटर को जदि आईसीटी दि जाव तो से शिक्षा व्यवस्था तार जमी आजिकल दूरदर्शन में पढ़ा हो अलग जगह ई कंटेंट पढ़ा से गुड़ा आम प्राइमरी स्कूल दे पारे पंचायत को एनश्योर कर टीवी ब्रॉडकास्टिंग रे इंटरनेट रे बा डाटा प्रोसेस रे बा ई कंटेंट देकी पिला को केमिति पढ़ा जाय परियो 24 घंटा लर्निंग प्रोसेस रे इन्वॉल्व करा जाय परियो सो द एजुकेशन सिस्टम एट द रूरल लेवल कैन बी इफेक्टिव थ्रू यूज ऑफ आईसीटी तापर ट्रेनिंग पंचायत रा जो पर्सनल अछंती ताकर ट्रेनिंग मध्ये हे परियो ऑनलाइन ट्रेनिंग हे परियो वी कैन टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ ई पंचायत प्रोजेक्ट इन आंध्र प्रदेश let us take example of Andhra Pradesh it अच्छी आंध्र प्रदेश रो प्रोजेक्ट टा कोन ना आंध्र प्रदेश रो गोटे ई पंचायत प्रोजेक्ट से मान नैतिले से 4 डायमेंशनल इंटरफेस थिला 4टी माने जोगाजोग व्यवस्था थिला कौन से फास्ट हला P2P पंचायत रु पंचायत गोटे पंचायत रु आउ गोटे पंचायत को ई जोगाजोग हो मेल रे हो व्हाट्सएप रे हो बा ई कनेक्टिविटी रे गोटे पंचायत रु आउ गोटे पंचायत को जोगाजोग हेले सुविधा कौन हम one panchayat can share its experience to another panchayat. It can share its problems, challenges to another panchayat and can take suggestions from that panchayat how to improve. गोटे पंचायत ता समस्या गुड़िक ता संबल गुड़िक ता नीति गुड़िक अलग पंचायत सहित ई जोगाजोग माध्यम जोगाजोग करूँ सजेसन नहीं पार जे सी आह्वान होता आह्वान करुवा सम्मुखीन गुड़िक सम्मुखीन होता आह्वान गुड़िक केमी मुकाबला कर एसेंस सेकेंड है P2B पंचायत टू बिजनेस एथिरे कौन हम ना जो बिजनेस हाउसेस अच्छा बिजनेस अच्छी मार्केट सहित कंटाक्ट कर पंचायत डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल हो बा जो लेवल हो एवं सेठी से कौन कर जो लैंड कनेक्शन ने बा नेट कनेक्शन ने डिस्ट्रिक्ट मैनेजमेंट सहित हो तांको पंचायत रे जहाँ प्रोडक्ट होची सेठी केमिति बिक्री हो पारिबो सेठी केमिति तार कस्टमर किए बायर किए कथा करि पारिबो दैट इज कॉल्ड पंचायत टू बिजनेस ओके देन पंचायत रु ग्राम सभा पंचायत रु तथ्य ग्राम सभा को आसो कोदिन मीटिंग हम किए आसवे कौन कौन प्रस्ताव आसो ग्राम सभा जहाँ तार मीटिंग है प्रोसीडिंग है निष्पत्ति है ऑनलाइन दे दे पार हाथ देवा दरकार नहीं देन पंचायत रु ग्राम सभा पर नेक्स्ट आसला पंचायत टू एम्प्लॉय पंचायत जो मैंने कर्मचारी अच्छा पाक इनफॉरमेशन आईसीटी मध्यम जीव ईमेल जीव हाथ में जावा दरकार नहीं सॉफ्टवेयर गोटे थी कंप्यूटर थी व्हाट्सएप थी सबुथ इमिडिएट मीटिंग है ग्राम पंचायत मीटिंग इत्यादि सो नेक्स्ट है हाउ दिस कैन बी आंध्र मॉडल गुड़ाई जगह कार्यकारी होशा जो नेक्स्ट है ग्राम पंचायत एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन आम है सपोज दैट इज ए ग्राम पंचायत मीटिंग व्हाट आर द मिनिट्स ऑफ द मीटिंग व्हाट आर द प्रोसीडिंग्स ऑफ द मीटिंग मीटिंग रे जहाँ निष्पत्ति है स्कान करके अपलोड करदे वीडियो जापर कलेक्टर जापर कंसर्न मिनिस्टर पंचायत राज डिपार्टमेंट जापर ये इनफॉरमेशन टा जाई पारि शेड्यूल्स ऑफ ग्राम सभा कौन शेड्यूल अच्छी ग्राम सभा रे कौन कौन योजना अच्छी कौन कौन प्लानिंग है दैट कैन बी अपलोडेड एजेंडा अपडेट कौन कौन कार्यसूची अच्छी सर्टिफिकेट लाइसेंस जहाँ अच्छी बिल पेमेंट ये जस्ट संक्षिप्त कहूँ यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट आल्सो अटेंडेंस मॉनिटरिंग ऑफ पंचायत फंक्शन whether sarpanch is attending meeting whether ward members are attending the meeting whether panchayat secretary is attending the meeting these can be ensured by attendance of panchayat functionaries. Okay, it is here. Then Gram Panchayat meetings management. How Gram Panchayat meetings can be managed, that can be ensured also through the use of ICT. Then registration of birth and death. Suppose this is a big problem. Now it has been made easy. Suppose there is a birth and death, you have to go to the Anganwadi Didi or Panchayat Secretary or Gram Sarpanch. But now almost all deliveries are in hospitals. So regarding marriages and death, they can be registered online, so there can be no manipulations. Then trade license, their pension schemes management system. Then SSG is a major project throughout India. In Andhra, what they did, the self-help groups are registered and their data is in online. Online में तांका डाटा रख दिया केतरा सेल्फ हेल्प स्वयं सहायक गोष्ठी अच्छी तार मेंबर किए किए केते पैसा पाइले केते खर्च कले केते मीटिंग हला एवरी डाटा रिगार्डिंग सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप will be made available online to the state level, so there cannot be any manipulation lateral परवर्ती पर्याय ताको मैनिपुलेट करी ये करा जाई परिबो नाही. Property lost and found reporting system, law and order management system, encroachment checking and monitoring model किए सरकार जायगा को माडी बसला, government orders, government rules, regulations, then village statistics, how many people are there in the village, their caste dynamics, their class dynamics, etc. Suppose in summer there is a water crisis. If you have data that there are 2 or 3 wells in a village and 1 well is not working, so if you upload the data from the village level that out of 3 wells 1 is not working, then it will be immediately made available to the district administration or to the state administration. से तो immediately instruction as जीवो जे जो heat summer रे ट्यूबवेल टा बंद हो लोक पानी तीव्र असुविधार सम्मुखीन हे यू रिपेयर इट इमिडिएटली और रिप्लेस इट इमिडिएटली तुरंत या रिपेयर कर कार्यक्रम कर से भाया सैनिटेशन सिस्टम देन एग्रीकल्चर रे देयर इज ह्यूज स्कोप ऑफ आईसीटी एग्रीकल्चर रे फार्मर मान ग्रीवांस टा केमिति एनेबल हे परियो आज डिस्कसिंग यस्टरडे हाउ इफ देयर क्रॉप्स आर डैमेज्ड बाय नेचुरल कैलामिटीज और नेचुरल डिजास्टर्स हाउ they will get the compensation how they can develop their crops through the specialized advice by the agriculture experts कृषि विज्ञानी माने केमिति धर ओयूटी अछि ओडिशा यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर तांक सहित जो ऑनलाइन ने कनेक्ट हे जो गोटे ग्राम पंचायत बा जिला सेठी कोन कृषि समस्या होची दे कैन टेक द एडवाइस फ्रीली से मागणा रे कृषि विज्ञानी मानक पाखरु पाइबे सपोर्ट जे तमरो पोक लागुची बा ये हवार संभावना अछि एही स्टेप नियो सेम इज केस ऑफ इरिगेशन सेम इज इन केस ऑफ इलेक्शन तर पंचायत इलेक्शन होची बा जनरल इलेक्शन होची वोटर लिस्ट हला कि नाही रजिस्ट्रेशन हला कि नाही कि तमर निर्वाचित प्रतिनिधि तांकर योग्यता कोन वोटर लिस्ट कोन असुविधा अछि ते हाउसिंग केमिति हबो नेचुरल डिजास्टर केमिति मैनेज हबो अडल्ट एजुकेशन केमिति हबो so many from cultural program to women and child welfare to social welfare etc. Then there is a new feature in the Andhra model that is village accounting system VAS. You must have cash transactions, bill receipt, old check receipts of the panchayat as well as other government establishments. Oh, this is called the Andhra e-panchayat model. Then we can find what are the challenges. This is ideal position. It hale bahut bhalo hobo. Eta hochi ki jodi ho nahi to kon asubidha achi that we can discuss. What are those? One is we don't have infrastructure. That is the biggest challenge. Suppose in Odisha, let us take the example of case of Odisha. In backward districts like Malkanagiri, Gajapati, Koraput, or Mayurbhanj, some parts of Mayurbhanj, you don't have adequate infrastructure. You don't have computer, you don't have net connectivity, you don't have trained personnel like DOs to handle these things. ଆମର ଭିତ୍ତିଭୂମି ନାହିଁ ଭିତ୍ତିଭୂମି ସମାନ ଭାବରେ ନାହିଁ କୋଉଟା ଅଧିକା ଅଛି କୋଉଟା ବେଶୀ ଅଛି ତ ବିକଶିତ ଜିଲ୍ଲା ମଧ୍ୟବର୍ତ୍ତୀ ଜିଲ୍ଲା ଆକାଂକ୍ଷୀ ଜିଲ୍ଲା ଅନୁନ୍ନତ ଜିଲ୍ଲା ଏଇଥିରେ ଭିତ୍ତିଭୂମିର ପ୍ରବଳ ପାର୍ଥକ୍ୟ ଅଛି ଇଏ ଗୋଟେ ବଡ଼ ଚ୍ୟାଲେଞ୍ଜ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ କ'ଣ ନା ଯୋଉ ଇନପୁଟ କଷ୍ଟ ଏ କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟର ଲଗେଇଲେ ନେଟୱାର୍କିଂ କଲେ କନେକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଲଗେଇଲେ ୟାର ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ ବହୁତ ଅଧିକା ହବ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସରକାର ମାନେ ସ୍ୱାଭାବିକରେ ଚାହିଁବେନି ଏତେ ଗୁଡେ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରିବା କିନ୍ତୁ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ କଲେ ଲଙ୍ଗ ଟର୍ମରେ ଦୀର୍ଘମେୟାଦୀ ସୁଦ୍ଧା ହ୍ୟୁଜ ପ୍ରଫିଟ୍ ମାନେ ସରକାର ପାଇଁ ଲୋକଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ପାଇଁ ଲାଭଜନକ ବା ଲାଭଦାୟକ ଦେନ୍ ସଫ୍ଟୱେୟାର ନାହିଁ ଏବଂ ସବୁଠୁ ବଡ଼ କଥା ହେଉଛି ଆଞ୍ଚଳିକ ଭାଷାରେ ସଫ୍ଟୱେୟାର ନାହିଁ ମାନେ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଭାଷାରେ ଗାଁରେ ଲୋକମାନେ ତ ଇଂରାଜୀ ଭାଷା ବୁଝିବେନି ତେଣୁ ଯିଏ ସରପଞ୍ଚ ପଞ୍ଚାୟତ ସେକ୍ରେଟାରୀ ବା ପଞ୍ଚାୟତ ଫଙ୍କସନାରୀ ବା ଗ୍ରାମ ଲୋକମାନେ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଭାଷାରେ ସଫ୍ଟୱେୟାର କରିଦିଆଯାଇପାରିବ ସେମାନେ ସହଜରେ ବୁଝିକି ତ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟକାରୀ କରିବେ ଦେନ୍ ଏ ଯୋଉ ଫୋକ୍ ମିଡ଼ିଆ ଅଛି ବା ଗ୍ରାମାଞ୍ଚଳର କଥିତ ଭାଷା ସେ ସଂସ୍କୃତି ତାକୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ଯଥେଷ୍ଟ ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱ ଦେବା ଦରକାର ଯୋଉଟା କି so in this chapter we found there is a huge scope for ICT which can bring a big change, radical change, positive change in the life of the common people, particularly marginalized people through e-governance at the rural level, decentralized governance or panchayat raj level. Jillaru Rama Panchayat. But these are the challenges. So how can these challenges be overcome? It केमिति अतिक्रमण करा जाई परिबो से संपर्क रे गुडाए मतामत नियाहिची सेतरे कार्यकारी होउची बहु राज्य आगर अछंती बहु राज्य पछर अछंती बहु राज्य आगु जाउची ओके so we'll shift to the next chapter hope you have understood all this then chapter 8 e-learning and role of ICT in education and training. All of you, this is e-learning. What we are doing right now, that is e-learning. Okay. What is e-learning? वर्तमान आम जो क्लास नौचंती that is e-learning. Okay. बा ई शिक्षादान आमे गोटे ऑनलाइन मोड रे students are in different places in their homes. तांको निज निज जगह रे अछि मु मो जगह रे अछि ଆମର continuous learning for 2 hours 2 घंटा धरी कि हम जो पाठ पढुचंती एथरे कोनसी बाधा हो बा असुविधा नाही. You can see each other, we can listen each other, we can communicate with each other. That is called e-learning. So now after particularly COVID-19 and huge use of ICT in learning process, teaching learning process, शैक्षिक प्रक्रिया रे ये जो ई लर्निंग गोटे मेजर मॉडल डेवलप कलानी दैट द अल्टरनेट मॉडल टू द फिजिकल लर्निंग. शारीरिक उपाय जो शिक्षा दिया प्रदान करा जाउची शैक्षिक प्रक्रिया बा टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस स्कूल कॉलेज रे विश्वविद्यालय रे श्रेणी गृह अछि पिला माने जाउचंती शिक्षक अध्यापक माने पढौछ तार एक विकल्प भाव रे वर्तमान ई लर्निंग हेछि आ जिबा दरकार नै दूर रे बसी पढा जाई पारि खाली ऑनलाइन क्लास डिजिटल लर्निंग ऑनलाइन डिलीवरी ऑफ एजुकेशन एंड ट्रेनिंग ऑनलाइन डिलीवरी ऑफ ई कंटेंट तुम डाउनलोड कर दबो तुमको वर्तमान इग्नो मटेरियल दे देला डाउनलोड करी पढी बा मो क्लास टा रिकॉर्डेड होची परवर्ती पर्याय रे somebody can use that, so some students can use that. So we are creating e content. Suppose I am talking on this chapter e-learning or Panchayat Raj or ICT or total this paper MPA-17, that is e-governance. All these talks will be recorded and made available to the students. This is called e-learning. So e-learning is a huge success in India and other parts of the world. But there are also dangers, there are demerits, etc. that we'll discuss. Then what is e-learning? It is an approach to facilitate and enhance learning through computer, through communication technology, through ICT, information and communication technology. Okay. So through internet, through email, through CDs, through websites, you have all these ideas of education which you can. So e-learning is briefly called, shortly called, or simply called computer-based training or computer-based learning. Okay. So what are the important aspects or features of e-learning? This is a flexible learning. You can have your own time. Suppose I am taking the class right now. Some student is not available to take this class. He has some other works. Then he can download my talk and listen later on. You can download from Google search or IGNO website. Then you can have access to time flexibility. ସମୟର ଗୋଟେ ନମନୀୟତା ଏଥିରେ ଅଛି ଯୋଉଥିରେ ତମେ ପାଇପାରିବ. Then you can get it through CD-ROMs. ତମର CD ରେ ମିଳି ଯାଇ ପାରିବ. Pen drive, email, website. This can be made available later on. ପାଠଟା ଗୋଟେ କ୍ଲାସ ରେ ମିସ୍ କରିଦେଲେ ଆଉ ଶୁଣିବାର ପାଇବ. କିନ୍ତୁ e-learning ରେ ପାଠଟା ଥିବ ତମ ସୁବିଧା ଅନୁସାରେ you can get it. So you can have more flexible learning experiences for online learners. आम ऑनलाइन शिक्षार्थी तक कहते ये गोटे आउ गोटे इम्पोर्टेंट आस्पेक्ट. ओके. देन कॉम्पिटेंस लेवल पर्सनल लोक माने दक्षतार सहित एटा को व्यवहार करि परिबे पढ़ी परिबे एवं दक्षता ताकर बुझियो. So this is called online delivery of education and training. तो शिक्षा एवं प्रशिक्षण को आम ऑनलाइन रे डिलीवरी करि परिया लोक बा प्रदान करि परिबा जोथरे से माने शिक्षा लाभ करि परिबे. You need not go to schools and colleges. You have so many forums. Edutech achi. But देखो after I am just giving one example. When e-learning started during Corona, Baiju came. Baiju is a e-learning center, business establishment. All the coaching centers in Kota, which give coaching to medical students or engineering students, they are abolished, vanished because of Corona. Baiju came. Baiju became the bigger e-content developer, e-learning center, e-learning education business person. She dominate करियला गुड़ाए physical education center ध्वंस है. So e-learning means creating a virtual learning environment. एथरे syllabus for the course है परिवो, course content है परिवो, learning management system है परिवो, learning support system है परिवो, learning platform है परिवो. So these are the requirements by which e-learning can be virtual learning environment. You have a computer, you have a network, you have a connection, you have assessment to the access to the connection. So these are the technical aspects of e-learning. So now e-learning has been simplified with continuous process. So if you apply for e-learning or enroll for learning, what are the basic criteria? You need to register. The student registration करिया दरकार, enrollment करिया दरकार, course delivery पाइबो, Online examination of Barthan, you need to organize online examination. You sit in front of a computer. There are questions. There is a time frame you will answer. You can sit it in your home also. Then there will be discussion, there will be chatting, there is a calendar, there is administration, there is faculty operation, everything in learning. Then you have a digital library. What is digital library? In a physical library, you go to the library, find books, you ask the librarian or librarian assistant that please give me this book or that book. So in e-library or digital library, you just search it. This is the author's name or book name or year of publication, you will immediately get that. Education. So these are the things that we have the advantage in. So there is a cross correction. Now I am audible. Shuni parjo. Hello. Hello. अरे मत सुनी पड़तो ना नहीं बाबा ना विजयलक्ष्मी am I audible right now? Hello. Am I audible right now? मते सुनी पड़तो कि नहीं? Okay. There is some problem. Again, I am joining. Now I am audible. मते सुनी पड़तो? Hello. Hello. मते सुनी पड़तो? Hello. Hello. Am I audible? वर्तमान मते सुनी पड़तो? Bhavana and Vijayalakshmi. Hello. What happened? Bhavana and Vijayalakshmi मते सुनी पड़तो? Hello. Are you listening or are you unable to listen me? Hello. Hello. Are you listening me? So there is a difference between traditional library and digital library. What is the difference between traditional library and digital library? Vijayalakshmi, are you listening me? Bhavana, are you listening me? Who are the other members present? Hello? Hello? Are you listening me, Bhavana and Vijayalakshmi? What happened? Okay. Okay. What happened? Bhavana, are you listening me? Vijayalakshmi? Okay, we should continue. Okay. So what is the difference between traditional library and digital library? The space in traditional library is limited, and in the digital library it is more than the traditional library. So there is a huge space. You can increase that space than the physical space. Then there is a maintenance problem in traditional library. What is the problem? Yes, agree. Hello. Are you listening, Bhavana and Vijayalakshmi? Or is there any problem? Hello. Then maintenance cost. Keep the books clean from moth and other insects. They have to be protected. But these cost is lower in digital libraries. So there is a limited scope for innovation. There is a more scope for innovation in digital libraries. Physical boundaries, no. If there is a physical boundary in traditional library, there is no such boundary in uh, uh, digital library. So this is the difference between major differences between digital library. Then you cannot retrieve the information in traditional library, but you can retrieve the information in the digital library. The books can be preserved in a easier manner in digital library than in physical library. And there is no networking system in physical library, though that now they are developing, but that through ICT. So this is called digital world or digital learning or e-learning. These are the advantages, these are the disadvantages. So we have EduSat, educational satellite, is giving free service to students, learners. Okay, this is a new experience in India. We can change that. Hello, Bhavana and Vijayalakshmi, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that is what I am asking. कौन ଗୋଟେ problem ହେଲା ମୋର କଟିଗଲା ପୁଣି again I joined. So that's why I am asking. You are not answering repeatedly whether you are joined. I have pinned you. Then Vijayalakshmi, two of you are present, na? Who are the others? They left. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so this is all about e-learning or digital learning. The next chapter 9 is e-commerce. You are using Flipkart, you are using Amazon, you are using online payment, phone pay. This is e-commerce. So entire business circle in the world is now emerging towards e-commerce. So what is e-commerce? That is business through e-method. Interchange, exchange, payment, that is called e-commerce. That means entry of data is transferred. Transaction is made through e-content or e-methods. Then benefits, this is consumers are benefited, organizations are benefited, and society is benefited. तो ई वाणिज्य समाज संस्था एवं उपभोक्ता कंज्यूमर जो माने से माने एथरे उपकृत हो यू हैव ए कॉम्पिटिटिव मार्केट यू हैव ए इजियर पेमेंट यू हैव इजियर ऑर्डर बट देयर आर प्रॉब्लम्स बिकॉज यू कैन नॉट हैव ए चॉइस तुम गोटे कलर आनिथिबो से मिललाळू घरे आ गोटे कलर आइथिबो दिस ए कॉमन प्रॉब्लम बट देयर आर आल्सो साइबर फ्रॉड्स then technical limitations you don't have network पैसा कटि गेलानी जानि परनो कटि जाउची so despite that e-commerce is emerging as one of the most acceptable models in the world today खाली भारत नु सब बडे तो एटा कोन कहउची इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कैश आउ चेक क्रेडिट कार्ड जो न करी की ई कैश दिया जाउची इलेक्ट्रॉनिक से ई चेक दिया जाउची इटा गोटे सहज होइची ई पेमेंट कार्ड होइची एतरे सिक्योरिटी नाही तापर मेजर आमे चलै छ इनकन्वीनियंस अछि बट स्टिल दिस इज एक्सेप्टेड एज द मॉडल तमे आउ इलेक्ट्रिक बिल पेमेंट बा जे कोनोसी पेमेंट आउ ये हो एतरे हो सब संग संग इमीडिएट पेमेंट हे दैट इज कॉल्ड ई कॉमर्स देन यू हैव इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ट्रेडिंग सिस्टम जोटा कहली इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मार्केट जेमिति कहली Amazon and Flipkart these are electronic markets or online markets or digital markets then I have already explained एतरे आउ रिपीट करिया दरकार नै सेटा regarding e banking the entire banking system is now made e banking you don't need to go to bank and stand in a queue to get cash or to upload cash तमे एटीएम रे वर्तन पैसा भरिवा व्यवस्था है पैसा काढिया व्यवस्था मते चेक टा अपडेट सॉरी पासबुक टा अपडेट करिया व्यवस्था है चेक टा बॉक्स रे वाले से मते सब एवरीथिंग इज मेड ई so treasury system is also now pension system is also now e that means e व्यवस्था रे सब अप्लाई कले ट्रेजरी गवर्नमेंट पैसा आसीबा दरमा आसीबा everything is made e then we have this unit 10 that is delivery of citizen service role of ICT ତ ନାଗରିକ ମାନଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ସେବା ଗୁଡିକ ଆଇସିଟି ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ କେମିତି ପ୍ରଦାନ କରାଯାଇ ପାରିବ। ପବ୍ଲିକ ଡକୁମେଣ୍ଟ ପ୍ରଥମେ ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକ ପାଇପାରିବ, ଅଥେଣ୍ଟିକେସନ ପାଇପାରିବ, ଅନଲାଇନ ପେମେଣ୍ଟ କରିପାରିବ, ଅନଲାଇନ ଆପ୍ଲାଏ କରିପାରିବ, ଅନଲାଇନ ରେଜିଷ୍ଟ୍ରେସନ କରିପାରିବ, ଅନଲାଇନ ସାର୍ଟିଫିକେଟ ମଧ୍ୟ ପାଇପାରିବ। ସିଏ ତମର ଡେଥ ସାର୍ଟିଫିକେଟ ହଉ, ବାର୍ଥ ସାର୍ଟିଫିକେଟ ହଉ ବା ଇସି ହଉ, ଯୋଉଟା ଇନକମେନ୍ସିଆଟ ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ର ବା କଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଲିଗାଲ ଏୟାର ହଉ, ଏନିଥିଙ୍ଗ ଏନି ସାର୍ଟିଫିକେଟ ନାଓ ୟୁ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ଗେଟ୍। ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ରେକର୍ଡ ଠୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିକି ସବୁ ଟ୍ରାଞ୍ଜାକ୍ସନ ଠୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିକି ଅନଲାଇନ ବିଡିଂ ହେଇଗଲାଣି। ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଯୋଉ ମୁଲଚାଲ ହୁଏ ବିଡିଂ, ସିଏ ମଧ୍ୟ ଅନଲାଇନ ହେଇଗଲାଣି। ଅନଲାଇନ ମାର୍କେଟ ରେଟ ରେ ତମେ ଜାଣିପାରିବ, ମଣ୍ଡି ତ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଅନଲାଇନ ମଣ୍ଡି କହୁଛନ୍ତି। ଅନଲାଇନ ପେମେଣ୍ଟ ଡ୍ୟୁ ଥିବ ତମେ ଦେଇପାରିବ। So these are the services delivered to the citizens through this ICT. ତ ଏଥିରେ କ'ଣ ଦରକାର? ନେଟୱାର୍କିଂ ଦରକାର, କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟରାଇଜେସନ ଦରକାର, ୱେବ କନେକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଦରକାର, ଟେକ୍ନୋଲୋଜି ଦରକାର, ଏକୁଟିଆ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ କରିପାରିବନି, ପବ୍ଲିକ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ପାର୍ଟନରସିପ ଦରକାର, ପଲିଟିକାଲି ଆକ୍ସେପ୍ଟେଡ ଦରକାର, ବ୍ୟୁରୋକ୍ରାସି ଆକ୍ସେପ୍ଟ କରିବା ଦରକାର ଏବଂ ଦିସ୍ ନିଡ୍ ଟୁ ବି ସବଷ୍ଟେନ୍। ଏଇଟା ଦୀର୍ଘ ସମୟ ଧରିକି ଚାଲିବା ଦରକାର। ଓକେ, ତ ନିରନ୍ତର ଭାବରେ ଏଇଟା କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ କରିବା ଦରକାର। ଭାବନା, ୟୁ ଆର୍ ଓନ୍ଲି ୱାନ୍। There is a huge benefit and there also huge less cost. Cost benefit analysis रे एगुड़ा बहुत सुविधा है। Okay, so this is 6:30 or what is the time?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
विजयलक्ष्मी तुम कोड छाड़ी पड़े थिलो, so हमें we are
Sorry,
now.
sir. The link was on. My
My
phone
link
was
was
on.
also disconnected. I could not join. Again, I joined. I am asking you and Bhavana that whether you are listening or not. Anyway, so first in India, it was a railway system which applied ICT in a very extensive manner. First, it is reservation system, right reservation. That deleted the entire broker system. जो दलाली व्यवस्था थिला रेलवे रे बहु परिमाण रे कमी हला. That is during you can say लालू यादव period. फ्राइड सिस्टम जोटा थिला ओजन पत्र से भूल भाल करिकी करप्ट बहुत समय होता, रेलवे लॉस होता, सेटा को रिकवर कर दिया, रेलवे बहुत प्रॉफिटेबल है। तो दिस इज ए मेजर चैलेंज। तेणु आम रेलवे रो जो जो सिस्टम ता संपर्क में मु कहली। सो दिस इज 11। तुम तो जानिछ जो पैसेंजर सिस्टम किंतु ऑनलाइन ने जाई कि तुम टिकट टा कर दे परिबो। तापरे नेक्स्ट चैप्टर जोटा विल स्टडी इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास, आई थिंक विल फिनिश इट हियर। दी जण मात्र अछि जणे सो कार्यम आईसीटी प्रोजेक्ट इन विशाखापट्टनम म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन, तार गोटे मॉडल ने आई विल डिस्कस इन द लास्ट क्लास। ओके, हाउ मेनी चैप्टर्स आर देयर? 15 or 17? केतरा चैप्टर अछि? डू यू हैव एन आईडिया?
I think, sir, 23.
No, 23 na. I think it is 15, not 20.
Sorry, sir.
15, sir.
15. So we completed 11. Next class, remind me, we will finish 12, 13, 15, 14, 15. Okay. These are Visakhapatnam model 1 is, and last chapter is regarding just a minute. Oof. This is ICT implementation in governance. What are the challenges? Okay. Last is ICT implementation in governance issues and challenges. That is the overall analysis. What are the challenges of ICT? Already we have discussed about that. First is infrastructure. Second is digital connectivity. Third is net availability. Fourth is digital literacy. एमती साक्षरता को बुझुଛନ୍ତି कोन अ आ पढी पारुଛନ୍ତି बा इंग्रजी रे एबीसीडी लिख पारुଛନ୍ତି एटा कंप्यूटर चलेबा मोबाइल फोन चलेबा मेल करि परिबा व्हाट्सएप मैसेज करि परिबा कंप्लेंट देई परिबा बा वेबसाइट की जाई कि तार माने आठवा लोक जानिया लोक भी करि पारुन दिस इज मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट ओके डीओ पर डिपेंडेंट होउଛନ୍ତି एटा इंडिपेंडेंट सेल्फ करि पार तो बहुत बढ़िया कथा हो ओके सो दिस मच टुडे थैंक यू you too Bhavana and Vijayalakshmi for remaining till the last of the class. Okay, we'll finish it up here. We have 3 chapters.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.